Fire Escape Academy Inspector Training video. We're here in Springfield, Illinois, and doing some downtown walkarounds. We've got an inspector in the background, fire prevention. And let's see, this is training on how to inspect a fire escape. Not all the floors, but whether or not from the ground you can see evidence of certain things. Now, do you think that that tail has been hit by a truck and it's passed?
Yes.
So there's with the truck hitting and the steel being bent, the weight box is bent. There's also another thing that's a no-no. See that chain?
Yeah.
That chain, does it look like original or an add-on?
It's like an add-on to me.
All right. What that means is because this thing people are breaking in, they put some extra weight on that weight box. Do you see the evidence of additional weight being thrown on a weight box?
On the outside.
Okay, so that means that you, a 150-pound woman with a 50-pound child, would have to go out 5 to 10 steps to activate this. Is that single action requiring no special knowledge?
No.
Okay, see this vehicle down here? Is this a fire lane? Is there any vehicle supposed to be parked down here?
Nope.
So we're probably going to need is probably a bollard somewhere there to basically stop this, because today they stopped here. But tomorrow, if they stop ever so slightly up front just to get one more vehicle in behind them, what you're going to get is this thing won't be able to come down. With that, let's take a look at the second thing that you would notice here as an inspector. Any evidence of maintenance. And this is a 75-year-old building, and you're looking at all the original hardware. Is it hex head or square head? All the hardware.
It's all hex. Or square head.
All square heads, indicating that this is all original. So, and you wrote a violation on this. What's the only cure right now for the violation, in your mind?
Refurbishment.
No, well, you have the code is very simple. Load tested, right?
Yeah.
So if somebody was to inspect this and they said this is in pristine condition, the only way to guarantee that it's in pristine condition, because you don't want an opinion letter, you want a load test.
Right.
So if a structural engineer was to come here and inspect this and give you evidence that this fire escape is in pristine condition, he has to perform a load test. He has to oversee a load test and send you some inspection criteria on what needs to be done on this fire escape. Once that load test is done, will you be satisfied to remove the violation? And it passes.
Yes.
And then, more or less, what's the cycle as the code requires to load test this again?
Every 5 years.
Every 5 years. So that's one of the options. Load test it every 5 years and give you the document, engineer oversight, and you're happy, right?
Is that IFC code?
Well, again, it's in. You're going to find it in the NFPA. You're going to find it in the fire codes. You're going to find it in the building codes.
And life safety?
Well, again, they may not say the 5-year cycle. Some of them have, and every code say it must be maintained at all times.
That's what I read.
And where the 5-year rule comes into play is that some fire codes pick up the 5-year rule. Some building codes pick up the 5-year rule. And if you are one of those states that doesn't have the 5-year code, what you're going to have is must be maintained at all times. So you literally can walk to this building and force an inspection on it every year if you wish.
That's what our code reads.
Right. So that's where all of a sudden the standards, we're changing the standard nationwide so that it comes in line with everybody else. Everybody in the country is about 5-year cycle for structural review and a load test. Or on average, if you refurbish the 75-year-old fire escape, or 50 to 75-year-old fire escape, the average cycle for possible load testing is every 25 years. But that's after a complete refurbishment. And this fire escape has no evidence anywhere. Has evidence of damage, has evidence of rust. How about the cement? Do you see any cement issues? Some rusty tears?
Yes.
Do you see these stains coming down the wall? Sorry about that. Those are called dragon tears, and those are evidence that water's getting into the building. What's the only thing you will allow on this fire escape as proof that the connection into the wall is safe? One is the load test.
Right.
But the second one is, which we explained over there.
Drill.
Drill a new hole.
Right.
Epoxy bolt it in there. Duplicate the connection. Keep the original. And now you don't need to verify or load test the connection, because on this 75-plus-year-old building, you duplicated all the connections back into the building, so you didn't have to do any damage. So did this fire escape pass or fail?
This right now would fail, in my opinion.
And it needs a load test.
Right. Well, you can see evidence up there where they packed grout
Yeah.
in there.
Uh-huh. In the connections.
Yeah, I can just see that on the second story, third story.
Right. So you don't have to go up on these fire escapes anymore, because from down here, you don't see any evidence of maintenance. You don't see any hex heads, not even on this cantilever.
Right.
You see any evidence of maintenance. If I was going to cheat you, I would at least change a bolt or two down here. Is that happening anywhere?
No, but we we are behind the times on fire escapes.
Well, it's an easy
And
situation.
This is what's going to change it all for you and me.
Perfect. All right, let's take a look at the next one.